Can you hear me? It doesn't sound loud.
Yeah, you sound fine to me. You sound perfect. Really perfect. So you've had a dentist visit. How did that go?
Oh, well, it was a routine cleaning, but there are a couple of little issues, like maybe a crown and erosion of enamel, and so I'm looking at all that and going, okay. Let me understand from a metaphysical perspective what all of these things mean and address it on more than one level. So it's all good. It's. How about your new VA? Did she start today?
Well, she's starting today, and I'm going to go to the temple because I normally go to my temple around this time. So I'm going to go and get some blessings from them as well, because this is a auspicious day today, isn't it? It's the moon in Libra. Is it moon in Libra?
Yeah, it's moon in Libra, which is, if there's ever a time to reach out in partnership, cooperation.
Yeah.
Certainly, using the energy of this day, to create what it is that you're wanting in terms of support. So that's
so that's the other reason I want to go to a temple. I mean, usually there's a gathering every Tuesday evening, and they do prayers and things, and I really find that's somewhere I like to go and add my energy.
Yes, and given you were in my database, why don't I have you in here? I had you in here. Langham.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay, 760. Okay, I just wanted to reacquaint myself with you.
Yes, and
so I've got about a half an hour now. I wanted to connect to just because when I hadn't heard from you, and I thought about it a couple times, and I thought, then it went out of my brain, and I thought transfer, and then in connecting with Kim over the weekend.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'm thrilled. So how can I be of service to what you want to create?
Well, the session that I had with you, that one-to-one session, was so powerful for me because, you touched on my humanitarian and how I need to be working, to bring something forward that serves all of humanity around property.
Oh, property.
Real estate. But now my feeling is that this is the work I need to do for the next 5-7 years, or maybe even longer. Yeah. And maybe this will take me into something completely different. Because I've been on this spiritual path, I've been on this journey myself, immersed in it for the last, I would say, 10 years or so, after the breakdown of my first marriage. And as a result of that, I've listened to a lot of telesummits. I felt that I didn't have the courage, the Leo, the lion, the courage of the lion to do what it is I wanted to do. But all of a sudden, 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, I got the nudge to become a host, telesummit host myself. And this last September, towards the end of September, middle of September, the opportunity came to be trained to become a telesummit host, and then I've taken it. And initially I was looking for 24 speakers. I put a post out on New Moon on the 28th of November, and I got almost 40 people who contacted me.
Wow.
And initially I wanted 24 speakers, even that was ambitious, but now I'm having almost more than 40 speakers, and now my commitment is to do 2 launches, one in January, one in July-June time, and to do these for the next 5 years, 7 years. So maybe going forward to 14 odd series. And I have got new speakers who've never been on telesummits. I've got speakers who've been on telesummits before, like yourself, and I've got people who have done just a couple, like Kim Resnick. I've got some who've done a lot more telesummits. So it's beginning to be very exciting, and my vision for the type of telesummit I want to have developed as a result of speaking to my potential speakers on a one-to-one basis. And as a result of speaking to them, my vision started to evolve. I created the Facebook page, and now there's a closed group as well where I do the posting of what it is my vision is. My website is being developed right now. So all of this is coming together.
It's awesome. Well, what's so exciting excites me on so many levels. But for you, what I get, one of the things that jazzes me the most in my work is when I am witness to somebody's genius. In other words, however they came in to be wired, whatever
Yes.
contract their soul and God co-created, and then to watch that manifest. So for you, what's so interesting is, okay, let me see if I can, because I'm as enamored of the language of astrology as I am the tool of astrology, and I understand that while people might get my enthusiasm, if there's a lot of astrological information, it can take someone totally out of their right brain. And I don't think I ever knew that for years. I would just be so excited about what I was seeing, and I so wanted them to understand the astrology of it. But some people want to learn that, some people don't, and I now gear my messages for sort of that middle place, and I can go either way. But for you.
Yeah, I think you've succeeded. You have succeeded. Sure. You have very much succeeded because you make it accessible.
Thank you.
That's why I want you on my platform, because you made it accessible for me. You told me where the position of the planet Uranus was in my birth chart, and you said to me that indicates an element of genius.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yes, and that's exactly. It's so funny that's where you went, because that's where I was just going to go. I was just going to say that not only are you Leo with your Leo energy in the Leo house, in the Leo, part of the chart, which is like a double whammy of creating from your heart.
Yes.
But you have the planet of genius and authenticity right next to the sun. So what you're doing, and this is what excites me so much too, is when I see myself or anyone model what the cosmic weather is. You're doing that. You're stepping out and saying, I'm having the courage to be more me, and it would make it seem such an interesting mix, Shashi, because Leo is a very personal, it's so important for you, and you did by the name of it, transformation to joy. Joy is a Leo thing.
Yes.
Joy falls under the Leo umbrella. But yet with Uranus next to the sun and having the moon in Aquarius, that gives you the group, the collective, the humanitarian. Leo doesn't care about humanity. You know what I mean? Leo energy.
Yes, I know that.
Caring about humanity. Leo energy is saying, I got up today. Where am I going to play?
Yeah.
Right? And for you to be able just to remember that if you're having fun, if you're in the joy of whatever it is, this is just exciting to me to see. To see that you actually have availed yourself of training to be able to manifest your genius. And the reason I say that is, and this is one of the cosmic weather pieces that, depending on what you want to talk about with me on your show, but one of the major opportunities this year for everybody is to be able to take the genius, the innovative, the brilliance, the uniqueness, the originality, and actually give it legs, give it feet, give it a foundation, give it a container and a framework. And that's because Uranus, this planet of ingenuity and all those things, is in harmony with the planet Saturn, with the planet of reality, with the planet of pragmatism. So what you're doing specifically embodies that. In other words, you're taking your creative vision, you're putting it out there. Just the fact that you got the kind of response that you did. What I mean? In other words,
Yes. My original idea was to have a totally different name for my Telesummit. It was going to be the Enlightened Self Network. That still came down as a download. But now that's my business name. That's my incorporated business name in England and Wales. And my Telesummit, I had to pick another name after the US election because the whole planet went into fear. And I said, no, this name doesn't resonate. And I had to work really hard to let it go. I went through a grieving process to let it go. But I had to come up with a name that would take us forward and take the whole planet out of fear. And more into childlike play, wonder, and excitement about what is and what will come. And I thought, right, and I worked on that, set with it, And the words that came were transformation to joy. I went on GoDaddy and I looked to see if the domain name was available, and it was.
Wow.
Transformationtojoy.com was available. And that
Wow.
said to me, that's a signal from the universe that that's what the name needs to be.
Yes. Oh, yes. And I so agree with you. And when you approached me, and then I remembered, again, I lost my database a couple times, but I remembered you were Leo, and I thought, well, isn't that perfect for her to create something that has joy in it? You talk about being your brand, and because I'm finding that, in my work, I seem to be helping people brand themselves in their life, meaning not just in their business, but in other words, expressing who they are everywhere, whether they're in a business or they're in a family or they're in a friendship, or so transformation through joy. What a beautiful message to take out there, and let me say one other thing in this context now of what you're doing. Oh, so what I wanted to say was, when I got that invitation from you, I thought, because I had decided that this is a little bit technical, but let me say it without any astrological language, and then So one of the forecasting techniques is the internal psychological changes. So in other words, every Leo, you'll always have your birth energies operating as part of your inventory, but we have these internal psychological shifts, so that every Leo will evolve into Virgo and then into Libra, depending on how long we live. Well, for the last 9 years or so, give or take, your evolving conscious identity, it's called the progressed sum, the evolving conscious identity, your evolving conscious identity has been in Libra, has been in the sign of relationship, partnership, collaboration, co-creation. So look at this. You're creating this collaboration with all of these different people, speakers and people helping you, and etc., at a time when the planet of growth and expansion, Jupiter, is in Libra. That's a 12-year cycle. Well, where this gets personal to me and you is that your evolving conscious identity now is at 10 degrees of Libra. My sun sign is 10 degrees of Libra. So that means that you and I are coming together to collaborate, because in any way that I can be of assistance to you, in addition to being one of your speakers, which I'm thrilled about. But in other words, as we did earlier, when you were reaching out and you were going to start it, and I suggested you might want to, whatever. So anything around timing or whatever,
Yes.
that would just be such a joy for
Yes,
me.
that was
That's
very.
interesting. I would use the word joy. I wasn't even thinking.
That was actually very kindly of you. And when I looked at when the new moon in January was, I knew it was the 28th, so I went for that date. And then I went and bought a calendar. And when I opened the calendar up to the 28th of January, it said to me, Chinese New Year.
Yes.
And I said, wow, how perfect is that? Because that means that it's going to be a time of celebration.
Yes. Yes, and that makes me even more want to understand the shift, because I don't know a lot about the Chinese other than it's the Jupiter cycle. In other words, the rooster then represents Libra, because again, when we see those Chinese, the animals, it's the 12 years, it's the cycle of Jupiter. So, what the shift from monkey to rooster is, in other words, so that energy in and of itself has now, what I mean? It's part of your fabric, it's part of the fabric of this. And it's also, I don't know if I said this to you when we were doing our little thing on Facebook, but it's your new moon.
It's an Aquarius new moon. Okay. Oh yes, of course it is, because we've just gone into, yes.
Yeah, the sun will go into Aquarius on the 19th, and so it's your new moon. So how perfect for you to be birthing something that has to do with the collective.
That is amazing, because that's the part of me, that's my new moon in Aquarius that's causing me to be more humanitarian in my outlook.
Yes, because when people are born with planets opposite each other. We can be born with lots of planets opposite each other. At a full moon, the sun and moon are opposite, 180 degrees apart. So I talk about it as sitting on the fulcrum of the seesaw. So for you, you could sit on the fulcrum of the seesaw, because anybody that's born at a full moon, they are, I don't want to say destined to live their life under a full moon, meaning being famous or whatever, but a lot of people, Donald Trump included, are born at a full moon, and there is a push to be out there, because so your seesaw is, on the one hand, it's not about anybody else. It's you having fun with whatever brings you joy personally, that has nothing to do with the collective, that little kid of Leo. And then the other side of the seesaw is, it's all about humanity and the collective. So either one, you could go to the extreme. So by knowing that you've come to bring your personal self-expression into humanitarian endeavors, because it's so interesting. You have the natural zodiac, which means you have Aries on the Aries house, Taurus on the Taurus house, which means, I know it's a little technical, you have Leo on the Leo house, which means that even more so that you would feel, you would feel like you could shine, and being totally you, and being in the group process, being in the, people who are in sync with what you believe, etc. So for you to launch this at your own new moon is perfect. It's so perfect. And now, of course, Chinese New Year, again, another beautiful, obviously, confirmation from the universe, which I always marvel at, whether I'm setting up the timing or I'm just watching the timing and going, oh my God, that is amazing that happened in that person's life, or they made that decision at a time when the universe, the weather, the cosmic weather would be so in sync with that. I mean, I'm like the kid in the candy store with that every single day.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And when I did put out that post, the new moon post on the 28th of November, one of the first people who was jumping up and down with joy was a lady called Jadian Hom, and she is from the Chinese community.
Look at.
She said yes.
How beautiful. Well, and the other reason I think I suggested the 28th was because that's the day Mars, that's the day the planet of action goes into Aries, goes into the first sign of the zodiac. So a lot of people right now, and you could be feeling this too, Mars is in Pisces. The planet of action is in the sign of dreaming and spacey and, and intuition and inspiration. And so, it's not particularly a Mars where someone might be, now you are, because but where they would be feeling, okay, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it now. So if any of that is as excited as you are about all this, if some of that is, wow, it is kind of, I really do want to, God, I'd like to read more. I'd like to, I don't know, any of the Pisces stuff. My point is, if any of that, you feel any of that, like, wow, this is kind of a push energetically, a bit. Just
well, yes, I mean, in coming up with my vision of what it is I wanted to create, as I was speaking to all my speakers, and I went through this process of speaking to everybody who came forward, because I wanted to connect with their energy. I wanted to feel their energy and feel if they were going to be the right person for this platform. And as a result, I've done this pre-screening. My vision has developed even more, and I've been able to dream of what it is I do want to create, and I was able to put that in the contract that I'm putting out to speakers, and also in the Facebook posts. So all of this, like envisioning and dreaming about what it is I want to create, all became part of this mix. Yes. And now, how perfect that whilst we're in a creation mode, all of that I can feed into that.
Yes.
And then on the 28th of January, I'm into Aries, and there I am taking the action. Because one of the things I was beating myself up about over these last 9 years or so was not taking action. Not taking action because nothing that I was going to take action on was on as big a scale or getting me on my life path, life purpose, as this is.
Yes.
So everything I did in between was listen to telesummits, work with different healers, and then everything started to come together for me.
Yes. Well, let me add one more thing that's going on in your chart that's pretty significant in terms of the stuff that you're saying. The area of transformation for you, of letting go of somebody else's definition of success, for instance, and I can give you the astrological, but let me just leave that for the moment.
Yeah.
You're in a transformation of letting die all of those outworn, someone else is the authority, or someone else or something out there determines my success. So you have an opportunity now to actually stand in the authority of the power of who you are, not in a power over way, but in a transformation. This is the planet of transformations. Wow, I just got it. This is the planet of transformation that is moving through your house of career, and in these last couple of years, again, you have Saturn there. So your Dharma, Saturn in the chart is the spiritual principle of Dharma. Dharma being, each of us is a unique expression of the divine. We're here to use our gifts and talents to be in service in the world. And so you've come in to take responsibility to do that, not just for you, but in terms of whatever you're going to model for the people that you work with as a result of this. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because Jade, when we had that conversation, she said to me that you are going to be like a midwife to new healers who want to come onto this platform.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I'm attracting new healers. I'm also attracting those people who want to work more in the Telesummit community, but they weren't necessarily attracted to what Telesummits there are out there right now. And they are being attracted to my Telesummit for whatever reason.
But they are. Shashi, because it's just coming. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want you to hear this so I don't forget it.
Okay.
You may also be an innovative force in the whole Telesummit quote industry, or whatever you want to call it. So just know that you may be finding a balance between what's been done in Telesummits, tried, true, etc. But even in this, you may be creating your own paradigm. I'm just saying that from this Aquarian nature of yours, Sun Uranus, Moon in Aquarius. So just be open to, you may be creating a new mold of what I don't know, but does that resonate at all?
Oh, that completely resonates with me, and I have had potential speakers I'm bringing onto this platform who said that this is what's needed.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. So I would love the 3rd. That would be great, the 3rd of May.
Okay. I'll put you down for that as well.
I need to run, sweetie.
That's okay. That's okay.
What is our next step, Shashi? You're going to send me a contract, or we're going to connect again live?
I'm going to send you a contract, and also because I'm building my thank you page and the downloadables, if you want to record something, I will put that up as a free download for people. And I also have got in the habit of recording the calls that I have with speakers like this. So there could be things in this call that I've just recorded, if you're happy for me to keep the recording, that we could share.
You mean that we just did?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I was saying to myself, that's so funny. Because I thought to myself, wow, it's too bad this isn't being recorded.
Well, you see, one of my speakers suggested that I do record, because he said to me, because even if you put 2-minute videos on YouTube, it can start to get you the interest and the following.
Absolutely. So now,
and I, as a result of that, I thought to myself, because I remember those early conversations I had, like with Jade. They were so amazing. They were so good. And I thought to myself, why didn't I record them? So I've got in the habit of now recording them, and then if the speaker isn't comfortable with something, I will edit it out. But
no, you can, anything I ever talk about with you, if you want to share it, I will. I can't imagine anything I would say that if you felt it needed to be shared, then I would know that that would.
Yeah. So I will do some edit on it, and if you're happy, I will even maybe put it as a free gift. But if you want to do something about the auspiciousness of actually launching on this day, then you're
Yeah,
more
I
than
do,
welcome.
and I'm just trying to think, how would I record that for you? Would I send it to you like, would you want me to do like a, would you want me to do like a video on Facebook and send it to you? I'm trying to think, how would I record that?
How you did my call? If you remember, you did an MP3 and you sent it to me, because it would be an audio thing that we would be doing.
Duh, of course.
Yeah, we would be doing an audio.
That's exactly what I would do.
Audio
All right,
download.
sweetie, let me run and let me. Yeah, that would be. So give me a sense of how long you would want. I'm really good with. I can do something as short or as long as you want it. So you give me a sense of, what, the 2-minute message, minute message.
It can be even. You can even make it up to 10 minutes, and also include more things about this year and why people should go into if they feel that they need to start working on their issues, why this year is so important for them to start taking action, because this is the 1 year of the 9-year cycle.
Yes, absolutely. And, and see the fact that you're launching on the day
Yes.
Mars goes into Aries, it goes right into that message. Okay.
That would be
So
brilliant.
now tell me when you would like to get, what kind of lead time can I have for that? I mean, I know you're starting on the 28th, so it obviously needs to be before then.
Well, if it gets to me as quickly as possible, we still have 3 or 4 days. Don't worry, 3 or 4 days.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'll make a,
Yeah.
I will do, because this is perfect that you and I are talking.
Yeah, because myself and my VA are talking this evening, and she's going to help me put it all together. So we need to do the download gifts as well, so that people can start signing up. I've had people already saying to me, how can we sign up? Because I created a lot of following on Facebook, and there is a closed group which you are part of, and there are now almost 1,000 members there.
Beautiful.
As you know.
Well, I look forward to our next connection, sweetie. I'm going to run.
Okay, thank you so much, Lorla.
Love you, sweetie. You take care.
Bye now.